All right, let's talk about Zach Wilson. Probably won't get to see Zach Wilson for a while. I think Jets fans are hoping they don't see him now until next preseason, barring an injury. It seems like it's Rodgers' job. So, but we did get to see a little bit of Zach Wilson. So I wanted to kind of make one last video breaking down how he did this preseason. Is there still hope for him to live up to that potential that he showed in college? Well, let's talk about what we saw in this game. So we're going to start off with this play. It's a 2nd down and 9 situation. It's going to be man coverage across the board, and the route that he's going to want to throw to is going to be a tight end's route cutting towards the top of the screen. And watch how when this play begins, I think this is a good job by Zach Wilson for the most part. I mean, the tight end, I would say one thing is maybe just a hair later than I would have liked. I think, getting into the throwing motion a little bit earlier would be ideal. That's what you see some of the, good quarterbacks in the NFL doing, is getting there a little bit quicker. But he's still pretty quick on the draw here. There's a player open now. He's in the throwing motion. He's going to make an accurate throw, and they're able to pick up a first down. Again, the highest degree of difficulty play? No, that's not the highest degree of difficulty play. At the same time, his whole issue is that he doesn't make the easy throws. He doesn't make the layups. He can make some spectacular throws. That's never been the criticism with Zach Wilson. You want to see him start to get the consistency down, and we certainly saw, I think this preseason, him getting the consistency down to, on a certain amount of plays. Like this one's going to be another one where it's going to be a zone coverage play, and you have a receiver running over the middle. That's the way this play is designed to work. Okay, simple enough. You can see how this could work. You can see the gap in coverage here and how this could be a completion. And right when the play begins, while I criticized him a little bit on that last play of being a hair late, and again, just a hair late, it wasn't massive or anything, this time, he's not a hair late or early. He's not rushing or dragging here, right? This is perfectly when you want to be throwing this football. He also puts it right on the money. It was dropped, but that's not Zach Wilson's fault. That's a really good play from Zach Wilson. And again, if he can just run the offense effectively, I think what we all thought, the people that liked Zach Wilson, which I was certainly one of, we all kind of felt like, okay, he could be an Aaron Rodgers type who can just consistently be a game manager. And, Rodgers early on in his career wasn't the elite game manager he is now, but he was a good game manager and then was elite at the other stuff. Once plays broke down as a playmaker, he became, he was elite at that stuff. That's kind of how we felt like Zach Wilson could be. The issue is he was, in the NFL, he's been a game manager. So he's showing some flashes here of maybe being able to be a better game manager. Although this play isn't. This play is back to the old Zach Wilson. It's a 3rd down and 9. So, okay, you want to get rid of the football quickly on this play, as the Jets are, the Giants look like they're about to blitz, right? That's what they're showing. They're showing a heavy blitz. You'd assume this is a cover 1 blitz where there's a single safety deep, 5 guys rush the passer, 5 guys play man coverage. However, when this play begins, you see how the Giants are doing something very unique here, where they have players drop back into coverage. So while the quick wide receiver screen that the Jets had set up, kind of wide receiver screen, quick pass to a wide receiver to hopefully get, him open, that would have made sense had it truly just been a cover 1 man play. The fact that it's a bit more of a unique setup means that this is not a throw that he should be making. And in fact, if he holds on to the ball for a little bit longer, there's a safety deep, and that's the only player who's covering deep. A corner is kind of covering both shallow and deep. But for example, if Zach Wilson faked as though he was going to do a quick pass, there would have been someone wide open down the field. But again, easy to say that when I'm sitting here, watching the play. I can pause it and fully digest it. He has to make a quick throw. I do get it. But even all things considered, even if this is the only read you can get to, this isn't a read you should throw to because it's not open. Wilson makes this throw, and that had a better chance of, I wouldn't say it had a better chance of getting intercepted than caught, but it certainly had a better chance of getting intercepted than being caught and then getting a first down out of it. Because the idea of, again, on 3rd down and 9, gaining that many yards, really Wilson, who had a clean pocket in an ideal scenario, could have gone to a next read. In a less ideal scenario, could have at least thrown the football away in that spot, or even just gone down and taken a sack, as opposed to trying to force a ball that was never going to be a first down that could have been dangerous had the defender gotten over there a little bit quicker or just had it been tipped up. So, again, we still do see the flashes of Wilson making errors. But still, I would say that for the most part, we did see him play positive. Yes, it wasn't perfect. I don't know if he's ever going to play a perfect game in the NFL, but we definitely saw him show some flashes of just being a solid game manager type at times. This play is going to be man coverage, and they're having a lot of routes crossing over the middle to try and create what you would call a rub route, which is, in the NFL, it's illegal to have a route concept that has a route with the sole design to get in the way of a defender. You can't do that, but you can kind of, that's a little bit hard to exactly measure entirely. So what you kind of can do is just run routes that you would run anyway, but can cause a lot of traffic over the middle, like this route, these routes right here. Watch as when Wilson takes the snap, you see that there is a defender who just gets completely knocked out of the way right here. I mean, he's colliding with one of his own guys because of the concept. You have someone wide open because of this, and Zach Wilson notices all of this. And this is something they ran at BYU a lot, so it kind of makes sense that if Wilson's out there, run it here. Wilson makes the throw, and they're able to pick up some yards right there. Again, these are baby steps, right? No one's sitting here and saying that he's going to be, elite right away, or these throws are amazing and they should be on a highlight reel. But like I said, Wilson has a nice highlight reel. That's not the issue. He needs to get get a solid medium light reel. That's what he's trying to figure out. And these are good medium style plays, in my opinion. Also, this play, he did show off the athleticism a little bit, and admittedly I don't know if it was a fully necessary way, but the way the play works is it's going to be a quarterback rollout towards the top of the screen. There's an edge rusher who they're leaving unblocked here, as he will kind of move in due to the original, fake handoff. And then when he goes up towards the top of the screen, hopefully Wilson can get past the edge rusher. Right when this play begins, it's pretty well defended by the edge rusher, I would say. He's not fully buying into the handoff, and he's doing a pretty good job of trying to generate pressure on Zach Wilson. Wilson, I think, is countering it pretty nicely in his own way by faking as though he's throwing the ball right here. He has no intention of throwing it, but this is just to try and get the defender a little bit out of position, kind of focused on a potential pass. And you even see it is working. The defender has his hand lifted up right now. So, okay, little thing you can do for Wilson to try and give yourself a little bit of a, half a step right here. What should Zach Wilson do, though? Nothing's open down the field. Doesn't love anything he sees. What should you do? I think you should try to run for a little bit longer, but if you can't figure out anything, just throw the ball away. Wilson doesn't do that. He runs for a little bit longer and then turns upfield and is able to pick up a couple of yards, gains, a couple yards on that play. Nothing crazy. It is better than 0 yards. And I do think you could wonder, is this a good play or a bad play? I mean, obviously, objectively, it's a good play, right? I mean, it worked out. They were able to, gain yards on this play. So, this play itself was a good play. But more so, what does it mean for the future? And is it a good sign is maybe the way to phrase it. Is this a good sign or a bad sign for Wilson? Because on one hand, like I said, he made a good play. He was able to gain yards, and you know what? If you can consistently gain yards, that's good. The other hand is, will it be a consistency thing, or will this end up getting him in more trouble than good? And that I just don't know, but at the NFL level, in the regular season, I should say, it would more often get him in trouble than good. I think you would have maybe liked to see him throw the ball away here, but it is debatable there. So, as a whole, a mostly positive performance from Zach Wilson. Again, he has had good preseasons in the past, so it's nothing to get too excited over if you're a Jets fan, but it is nice to see that, at the very least, maybe his confidence isn't too blown, and he is someone who can still work on some of the little things, and the little things did look better for whatever that's worth. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.